March the 31st, 1939. I have to inform the House that during that period, in the event of any action which clearly threatened Polish independence, His Majesty's government would feel themselves bound at once to lend the Polish government all support in their power. They have given the Polish government an assurance to that effect. Neville Chamberlain, Prime Minister.
But no one who understood the situation could doubt that it meant in all human probability a major war in which we should be involved. Winston Churchill, member of the House of Commons.
April the 20th, 1939. Harold Nicholson, Member of Parliament, National Labour Party. There is a break in the crisis, which makes me uneasy. That is one of the worst things with this tension. If Hitler doesn't do anything, we all become uneasy. And if he does do something, we all get frightened.
In 1939, the NSDAP has 5.3 million members. Its mass organizations such as the SA, the Hitler Youth and the German Labour Front are responsible for another 30 million Germans, a nation marching in step towards war.
What is Herr Hitler going to do? Is he going to try to blow up the world or not? The world is a very heavy thing to blow up. June the 28th, 1939.
Don't forget, the Poles are no Czechs, and they will fight.
August the 13th, 1939. Hitler was completely set on war.
The British are guilty of everything. The Poles have a serious lesson to learn. The democracies are inferior to Germany and will never fight.
Was the recurring keynote of the German dictator's speeches.
Is Germany's non-aggression pact with the USSR in 1939. Signed by the German and Soviet foreign ministers Joachim von Ribbentrop and Vyacheslav Molotov, this treaty opens the way for the forthcoming German invasion of Poland.
Stalin had cut a deal with Hitler to carve up Eastern Europe. Hitler got most of Poland. Stalin got the Baltic states.
Night of August the 30th, 31st, 1939. In these hours, I knew that if war came, and who could doubt its coming, a major burden would fall upon me. Winston Churchill.
Tonight, fate will take its course. Joseph Goebbels, diary.
On September the 1st, 1939, Germany starts World War II with her invasion of Poland.
September the 1st, 1939, Friday, 7th day of mobilization, 6:30 a.m. Border overrun everywhere.
Now we are at war. God grant that not everything good and valuable should perish.
And entered the next room where Hitler was sitting at his desk, while Ribbentrop stood at the window. I remained some distance from Hitler's desk and slowly translated the ultimatum of the British government. When I finished, after a while, he turned to Ribbentrop.
What now?
Ribbentrop replied with a quiet voice,
I suppose the French will issue an identical ultimatum within the hour.
As my job was now finished, I left and told those waiting outside, in 2 hours, a state of war will exist between England and Germany. Goering turned to me and said,
if we lose this war, then may heaven have mercy on us.
When France and Great Britain declared war on Germany on September the 3rd,
Neville Chamberlain broadcast to the nation.
This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, a state of war would exist between us.
United and in a mood of quite unjustified optimism, the British army set off for France.
When Hitler's forces invaded Poland, Franklin Roosevelt reassured the American people that he would do everything he could to keep the U.S. out of the war.
This nation will remain a neutral nation, but I cannot ask that every American remain neutral in thought as well. Even a neutral has a right to take account of facts. Even a neutral cannot be asked to close his mind or to close his conscience.
Parliament blamed Chamberlain for the defeat. His government was on the verge of collapse. In search of a successor to lead a new coalition government, Chamberlain summoned the old appeaser, Lord Halifax, and the old warrior, Winston Churchill.
He did appear to be a man who knew about how to fight a war, knew about grand strategy. He wanted to defeat Hitler. He was a man who had seen earlier than most that Hitler was evil. So in many ways, he was better qualified for the job, even though at the same time, there were many people who were really horrified at the thought of this wayward and unstable man taking over.
Churchill loves war. He makes no secret of it, even boasts about it. Joe L. Sawyer, bomber pilot, Royal Air Force.
He planned to send a naval task force to protect Norway from a German invasion. But the government delayed, and the Germans got there first. The campaign was a costly failure.
September the 13th, 1939. The Fuhrer's motorcade roared by.
September the 28th, 1939. Warsaw has finally fallen.
Some 16,000 members of the German armed forces die, and 30,000 are wounded, 68,000 dead and 130,000 wounded on the Polish side.
The enslavement of Poland further united the two extreme proponents of totalitarian violence. SS units killed 60,000 Jews and members of the Polish ruling class.
In addition to the free city of Gdansk, western parts of Poland are annexed and added to the Greater German Reich. From October 16, 1939 onwards, the remaining central Poland is subject to the authority of a German civil administration as a general government.
And a nation of 35 millions fell into the merciless grip of those who sought not only conquest, but enslavement, and indeed extinction for vast numbers.
Hitler's blitzkrieg fell on Holland, Belgium, and France.
Et de combat, la Pologne, le Danemark, la Norvège, la Belgique, la Hollande et la France sont envahis. La moitié de l'Europe s'effondre.
Hitler had succeeded in conquering most of Europe.
Winston entered number 10 to face the greatest crisis in Britain's history.
Winston Churchill said that all his past life had been preparation for a moment of destiny.